Salute to all the real ones out there. It's your boy Mike coming at you again with another video. Alright. If you like the direction that my channel was headed in, you see some of my other content, like, comment, subscribe, and share the videos with anybody you think may benefit from them. Alright. Now, today's topic is going to be about numerology. So, as defined by dictionary.com, numerology is considered to be the branch of knowledge that deals with the occult meaning hidden, significance of numbers in our lives. So also it's considered to be the study of numbers and their energetic influence on our lives as defined by numerology.com. So you have numbers 1 through 9, and they serve as like the basis for numerology. Then you have the other numbers, which are the intuition master. These are the master numbers, 11, 22, and 33. So 11 is the intuition master number, 22 is the master builder number, and then 33 is the master teacher. Now they come up very rare, but I'll get into it later on. So in numerology, this 9 single digits are the entire basis of this study. These numbers represent a specific set of character traits, symbolism, and meaning. So each number has its own unique personality, and by understanding their meanings, we can decipher the profound messages that they send to us when they show up in our chart and in our lives. So almost every calculation in numerology results in a single digit number. All right, so you have different types of numerology, and each one, like if you do a numerological chart, you'll see that you have certain categories of the numbers. So I'm going to explain what they are right now. So you have your life path number. So for example, me, I'm a number 9, all right? And we're going to talk about 9 later on. But your life path basically reveals who you are, your deepest values, and the challenges you may face, all right? And if I haven't said it already, you guys can look in the description box on this video, and you'll see all the links for where I got this information. If you want to check it out yourself, or if you want to do a chart to figure out what your numbers are, which I would highly recommend, you can find it in the description box below this video. So you have name numerology, all right? This is basically the number of your actual name with its meaning and frequency, okay? Then you have your soul urge number. This is basically your heart's desire. It indicates what motivates you deep down into your core, and it's calculated by adding up all the vowels in your name. Then you have your expression number. This is also called your destiny number, and it reveals your personal strengths and skills that you were born with and the challenges that correspond to those strengths. Then you have your birthday number. This is also considered to be your psychic number, and it indicates the compatibility that you have with the other numbers, harmonics, and affiliate number of people who will come into your life. All right, so without further ado, we're going to jump into each number, and I'm going to talk about what the number represents, some of its strengths, and then also some of its weaknesses. So number 1, all right, the number 1 is represented by ideas like motivation. It's a pioneer, a trailblazer. It represents newness, movement, and hidden possibilities. Number 1 is also the number of creation, and it's the birth of all things. It exudes confidence, power, and action. Number 1s also inspire taking control over life and embracing new beginnings. So off the top of my head, I know like Steve Jobs is a number 1. All right, and number 1s you're going to be your ones who are really good at being in positions of power, CEOs, people who come up with inventions, people who like lead top companies, visionaries, right? These are going to be typically number 1s, and they're best whenever they're in an entrepreneurial position. They like to be their own boss and kind of call their own shots. So some of the benefits of number 1s is that they're very independent, goal-oriented, and they're very innovative. Some of their negatives is that they're forceful, meaning that they have their opinion and they try to drive it home onto yours as if like your opinion isn't as important as theirs. They're risky. They're more likely going to jump into something head first and maybe be impulsive. And then they're very doubtful. So let's say I'm talking with a number 1 and then they have an idea and I have an idea. They'll be doubtful of my idea because they feel like their idea is usually holding more weight or validity. So moving on, we have number two. Number two is the key words that can be brought up for this number are grace, power, cooperation. They're very sensitive, intuitive, and they also represent partnerships. Like think about it, one is right after, or one comes right before two, and two is it's always two, and everything in nature exists in pairs. You know, you have left, right, you have up, down, so on and so forth, and then you have woman, man. You know, and then through woman, man, you then get child. You see, so it's like two is very important whenever you think about partnerships. Uh, it also represents coming together to balance two people, concepts, or ideas. So twos are also going to be very good at diplomatic relations. Uh, they're typically very tactful, and they know how to rule over situations because of the power that they have of duality, understanding both sides and being able to play equal attention to whatever is a dispute or an argument. They're also known as mediators, and they're very unbiased. So I know, for example, like my dad is a number two, and whenever there's like beef between, let's say, him and another person, it will weigh on him to think about what he did wrong, or to try to figure out how can he solve the problem, how can he address it, things like that. So some of the benefits of being a number two are you'll be highly intuitive, you'll like to unify things together, and you'll also have a high degree of influence on other people. Some of the negatives is that you'll typically be indecisive, easily hurt, aka sensitive, and you also may be unassertive because you don't want to ruffle feathers or step on anyone's toes. Number three, all right. Keywords for three are youthful energy, positive, incredible zest for life, eager to interact, skilled communicators and networkers. So these people would typically like have a big group of friends and contacts. Like if you ever have an issue, this will be the person to go ask, hey, do you know a mechanic around here? They'll probably have someone in their phone. Or, hey, I need an idea that I'm trying to do for my wife's birthday. Hey, would you happen to know a party planner? It will probably be this guy or this woman who will have some type of contact that can square you away. They're unique thinkers, very artistic, curious, and they're represented by the child at heart. They have fun engaging with others, and they like to express love and joy. So some of the positives of being a number three is that you'll typically be very communicative, artistic, and charming. Negatives are naive, unfocused, because you have so much desire to interact with others that when you're on your own, you won't really have an agenda for yourself. And then shallow / materialistic. All right, so moving on to number four. Keywords for four are strong, efficient, no nonsense approach to life, dependable, very stable. And if you think about like some of the traits I'm saying, like a four, think about its shape. You know what I'm saying? It's like a square. So a square is pretty much set. It's equal on all sides, strong. You see what I mean? It kind of fits along with the traits. They're very rational. They bring security and consistency to every situation. Wise, conservative, and they lead with their logic over their heart. They also use mental power to build a life of service and or contentment. Some positives from being a number four. You'll be very practical. You'll also be loyal, and last but not least, you'll be prone to want to serve others out of the goodness of your heart. Negatives are you'll be dogmatic, okay? You'll also be dull, and you tend to be rigid. So like think about the square. Even when you say someone, man, he's a fucking square, it's usually because like they're the party poopers. They're not the one who will get with the program and go with the flow. They'll hold back. Everybody else is, let's say, trying to turn up. This will be the person saying, hey, we need to keep it down. Or, you know what I mean? So if you think about it like that, it kind of makes sense when you just think about the shape of a square. Number five. Keywords are curiosity, variety, exciting experiences. They crave freedom and adventure, exhilaration. They like to experiment, and they're the masters of change. So a number 5 like has no problem moving to a different state that they never even really considered going to, but they'll take the risk. They'll just jump right into it, and they have no problem adapting once they're there. They can go with the flow, highly adaptable, as I just mentioned. They thrive in social situations. They like when things are fresh, and they love being unattached. All right. Some positives are they're very curious, adaptable, flexible, and highly outgoing. Some negatives are that they're non-committal, unreliable, and they seem to lack direction in their life. Number 6, keywords. Embodiment of the heart chakra. They represent unconditional love and the ability to support and nurture and heal others. They use their heart and their soul to service others, and they shine very much so when they're in a partnership where they can, let's say, dedicate themselves to enriching that partner. They're very empathetic, devoted, warm, and they make others feel comfortable in times of need. So some positives for the number 6 is that they tend to be very protective, romantic, and compassionate. Some negatives are they're passive, self-sacrificing, and idealistic. So idealistic in this case is a bad thing because, they think the world should be a certain way. And when they realize it's not, they'll sacrifice themselves out of the desire to make the world more like how they envision it in their head. Okay, so moving on. We just did number 6. Now we're going to move on to number 7. So the number 7, this was my grandfather right here. Some keywords that represent this number are deep, wise. They're the researchers of all the numbers. Devoted listeners. They sense whatever lies beneath the surface. Highly intellectual approach to life, analytical, very powerful intuitions, and they gather and filter through information. They're in tune with their conscious and subconscious minds. These are the truth seekers of all the numbers. So some positives are they're spiritual, prone to be introspective, and they're also perceptive of the world that they live in. So these are people like that sear through appearances, sear through what's being said, and they can always decipher what's going on behind the scenes. Like, don't try to bullshit these people because they'll probably see right through it. Then you have the negatives. They're reclusive, like withdrawn, secretive, and they're also highly suspicious. Number 8, like this is my brother right here. Keywords are achiever, good business sense, powerful presence, driven to succeed. They flourish when things are balanced, and they are considered to be very lucky. Like, think about the number 8. Like, it's always flowing. Like, it's on the top and bottom. It's equal. You see, so many people try to use the number 8 because the number 8 represents health, wealth, success, and business. They're very productive, and they measure life by the amount of goals that they were able to reach. So some positives for the number 8 are very ambitious, karmic, meaning that they always give back equally. So everything that they gain, they tend to be very balanced in their method on giving back. So it's like it feeds itself. If you think about the number 8, it's eternal, right? And they're enduring. Some negatives is that they're very materialistic, authoritative, and they feel entitled. So number 9, keywords are they usher in the process of transition or transformation. They guide and empower others with wisdom. They absorb answers from the spiritual realm and deliver those truths into the real world. Humanitarians at heart, and they're intent on creating, let's say, value for the greatest good. Wise and strong, considered to be old souls. So that's my number right there. And then you have some positives is that they're awakening, meaning that they're always going through some type of process of enlightenment, and whatever they find, they report back to help others awaken. They're tolerant and supportive. Some negatives is that they're resentful, and I can attest to that, because you feel resentful because with great power comes great responsibility, and sometimes you feel like, man, I don't feel like having to wield this heavy sword all the time. Sacrificing and suffering meaning that since they have so many visions and so many things that are coming from the spirit realm, it overwhelms them sometimes in the normal reality. All right, so then you have your master numbers, which you see very rare in numerology, but they're very important. And if you happen to have one of these numbers, you are highly blessed. And let me go ahead and jump into it. So you have 11. 11 is considered the intuition master. It's an enhanced number 2. So think about all the stuff I said with 2, but like spiritually enhanced. Their positives are that they're charismatic, they have exponential leadership ability, and they're highly inspirational. Some negatives is that they're big dreamers, so it's hard for them to like take their vision and put it into reality because they're too busy thinking about it in their head. They're prone to have a lot of phobias, and they also can be very self-destructive. Number 22 is considered a master builder. This is an enhanced number 4. Their positives are that they're expansive, confident, and very methodical with anything that they decide to do. Some negatives is that they're highly doubtful of themselves. Neurotic, meaning that they are constantly thinking in their head and maybe being too over analytical. And the last thing that they suffer from is that they shrink under their own pressure, which wastes their potential. So then you have 33, which is the master builder. This is an enhanced number 6. Some positives is that they're spiritually evolved, highly impressive, meaning that they can come into a room and basically make everyone captivated by their personality. And they're devoted to the spiritual growth of all other people. Negatives is that they're anxious, very moody, and they're self-defeating. All right, so that's pretty much like a quick breakdown of numerology. I hope y'all got something out of it. I challenge every one of you guys too to go onto a site and try to figure out some about your numerology. I mean, you have your soul urge number, you have your karmic number, you have your life path number, and all of that stuff is very interesting to read. And then when you combine that with astrology, which I'll do a video on one of these days, kind of gives you a lot more insight to who you are. Hence the old African proverb which says, know thyself. You know more about yourself, you understand more about the world around you. So thank you for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll holler back.